This is the same piece of steel that I used in my first video when I was comparing CRC to fluid film. I'll put a card in the corner if you're interested in that video. But all I did was turn it around and grind off 3 sections. I took the coating off just to help with the test. But if you flip it around, you can see the original sections where I tested the products. And down here on the corner, this is the CRC and it's still intact. That's crazy. You can see the rust that's forming on top of it, and that's only because a while ago I wiped off that section of CRC with brake parts cleaner, and you can see a massive difference on how that cleaned off section started to rust immediately. If you're wondering what's the point of this video, well, a while ago when I did the first video, someone asked me if you were to spray these products over something that's already rusty, is it going to stop that rust from spreading or will it continue to spread? In my opinion, I think the rust is still going to continue to spread because the rust is already there, but that's the whole point of this video. The easiest test I could come up with is to use a large washer on top of the rusted sections, and then we'll go ahead and clean up the rust around the washers, and that's going to give us more or less 3 circles that are as consistent as I could get them, and that way we could see a before and after on whether the rust circle is going to expand or if it's not going to do anything at all underneath the products. Of course, only 2 of the circles are going to get sprayed with products, and the third one is going to be left bare, kind of like a control. Let's go ahead and start off in the center right here with the fluid film, and of course I did shake both of the cans. So off to the right is going to be the bare or the control, the center is going to be fluid film, and off to the left is going to be CRC. Now I thought a good amount of product to put on these would be 2 coats each, so that's what I settled on. The test panel is going to sit right here, open to the elements, no different from if you sprayed the underside of your car and how it gets bashed with rain, debris, snow, all kinds of crap, right? So let's just see what happens. At 13 days, you can see the bare metal on the right side has more or less like surface rust. The fluid film is starting to rust a little bit, but not too bad. And the CRC pretty much still looks perfect. At 168 days, we really can't see what the metal looks like because it's pretty much covered in ice. And for anyone who thinks that I'm skewing the results by putting my hands on it, there is a layer of ice over this thing. I am not skewing any type of results. And I figure, you know what? If we're going to replicate this thing as if it were sprayed underneath your car, well, you drive your car in the winter, you're going to get road salt on it. So let's go ahead and put some salt on it. And of course, sprinkle a little bit more snow on top of it. I know it's going to start to eat away that ice and snow, but that's the whole point. When you drive your car, you get salt on it.
What year is it?
It is Tuesday, September 20th, 2022.
It's over a year later, and I do apologize for having the test panel flipped around from what we've been seeing it in the previous videos. So now the CRC is on the right side, the center is still the fluid film, and the left side is going to be our control. So if we put our washer over the diameter of the rust spot, it does appear to have spread just a little bit. I hope you can see that. So just as I predicted, the product is not going to stop rust from spreading, which of course makes sense, right? and the fluid film in the center just looks bad, just as bad as the control. I mean, there's a reason why birds shat on it. So, yeah, you could almost argue that it looks like there was no product on it at all. And you saw even 13 days into it, this thing already had rust on it. So that's why I'm a firm believer of CRC. And if we go ahead and try to scrape it, there's actually still product on this thing. It's amazing. Over a year later, and there's still CRC on it. Of course, it's not perfect. Eventually, the rust is going to get to it. As we can see, it's starting to build up underneath the CRC. But it just goes to show how much better I think the CRC is. You know, if you were applying this underneath your car, I would say the fluid film has to be applied a lot more often. The CRC, you could get away with skipping a few sessions. Of course, it still has to be reapplied, but I just think it goes a lot further. So I hope that answers someone's question on whether rust is still going to spread underneath the product, and yes, it does continue to spread. It's why it's important that you get rid of the rust first. Not cleaning the rust first is kind of like having Amber Heard take a dump on your kitchen floor, and instead of cleaning it up, you just put a carpet over it. Yeah, it's not going to end well. Okay, I've had enough internet for today. Are you still watching? Jeez, what kind of sick person does that?